So today I'm going to be doing Winter 2019 Biennial Bibliothon wrap up. So I participated in the Winter 2019 Biennial Bibliothon. I vlogged every single day. I had so much fun vlogging. Go check out all those vlogs. I am so proud of them. I also completed 3 video challenges, which I'm also so proud of, especially my lookbook. That is one of my most favorite videos I have ever made. I managed to finish 4 books, and I did start another book, but I did finish it shortly after the readathon, so I figured I would wrap it up here. I completed all reading challenges, 3 of the video challenges. I didn't do any of the Instagram challenges. I did do some of the reading sprints. I vlogged every day. I'd say this round was a great round, and I cannot wait for next round. Okay, so I'm going in order of the reading challenges, not necessarily when I completed the books. The very first reading challenge is to read the group book, which was Empress of All Seasons by Emiko Jean. And I also used this book to complete the challenge of read a book by an author you've never read before. And I ended up really loving this book. I'm so happy that I ended up reading it. I loved this book so much. It gave me such Hunger Games vibes. Like, I felt like I was reading the Hunger Games while reading this, which was so much fun. I love the world that Emiko Jean created. All of the yokai and the different creatures and the way the magic works in this world is so fascinating. I wasn't super attached to any of the characters. I loved so much of this book. It definitely would have been a 5 stars if it wasn't for the ending. The ending was very rushed. It was very abrupt. Literally, the ending happened in like not even 20 pages. People said that they wish this would have been like a duology, and honestly, I don't feel that. I think this book was so well done that it doesn't necessarily need a sequel. The ending should have been more fleshed out. You can maybe add, I don't know, 50 pages to really flesh out the ending. I think this could have been a 5-star read. I did watch the live show for this. Most of the hosts focused on the negatives of the book, which kind of made me sad because I think this book has so many strengths. Overall, I really love this book, and it's definitely worth the read. Next 2 challenges that I completed. Read one of the host 5-star reads and read an adult book. I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This was the very first book I completed during a readathon, and I kind of cheated because I listened to it to make sure that this audiobook is good and it's gonna be fine for the readathon, and I ended up just keep listening to it. I ended up getting quite a bit of the audiobook done, and I finished it first day of the readathon. I loved this book so much. Ever since I've read it, I have not stopped thinking about it. This easily became one of my favorite books of all time, and I can seriously see this book becoming a modern classic and really standing the test of time. It's that good. This book just made me feel so many things. After finishing it, I just felt so inspired to create. The way Evelyn says it, nothing is given in life. You have to go out and grab what you want out of it. I understand now why this book has gotten countless praise. It deserves every single praise. And I gave this book 5 stars, but if I could give it all the stars in the galaxy, I would. The next 2 challenges that I did was read a book that got you into reading and read a book with a cover that you don't like. This book did not get me into reading. I mentioned this in my TBR. For this, I reread The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot. There is no book that got me into reading. I have loved reading ever since I learned how to read, so this was really hard. I chose a book that had a very significant part in my reading journey, and that is Princess Diaries. Meg Cabot was the very first author that I became obsessed with and wanted to read all of her books. There's a part in the series where Grand-Mère gives a copy of Jane Eyre to Mia, and she tells her to read it, and Mia talks about really loving the book, and that's initially what made me want to read Jane Eyre. This book, this series, the movies mean so much to me. They were such a core part of my childhood, and they will always mean the world to me. Rereading the first book in the series was so much fun. I forgot how hilarious Mia's story is. I was literally laughing out loud multiple times throughout this book. This book was so funny. It was so much fun, and I had the best time reading it, and now I just really want to reread all the books in the series because it's just so delightful reading the series, and it made me so happy. Maybe I will reread some of the books in the series, we'll see, and I'm so happy that I reread it for the readathon. The next challenge was combine your favorite genre with your least favorite format or the opposite. So for this, I combined my least favorite genre with my favorite format, and I read My Year of Epic Rock. Middle grade is my least favorite genre, and physical format is my favorite way to read books. When I was in the middle grade age range, I did not read middle grade. I seriously went from reading chapter books to reading YA. I did not read middle grade at all. Never really liked middle grade. I was completely shocked by how much I loved this book. This book is about this girl. She is starting 7th grade. She has really terrible allergies to eggs and peanuts. And on the very first day of 7th grade, her best friend drops her and ditches her for somebody else. She becomes friends with all of the people in her school who also have very severe allergies to peanuts and eggs and other things. All decide to start a rock band called the EpiPens. They decide that they're gonna perform at the school's talent show. I loved reading about them practicing to be in the talent show. I loved seeing all of the characters bond with each other. It is a very sweet, innocent romance in this, but it's very, very minor. I really loved how this showed like a toxic friendship. In books, we see toxic relationships and abusive relationships. I've never really seen a toxic friendship talked about, and those are equally as damaging. I learned so much about what it's like to live with a life-threatening allergy. The main reason why I wanted to read this, recommended for epileptic allergy, lots for diversity, bingo. I don't know if this book has own voices. I really loved how in-depth the author went on what it's like to live with an allergy. Talks about always having to be with an EpiPen, how she can't accept free samples from everybody. If she goes to somebody's house, she has to bring her own food. If she doesn't know what's in something, she can't eat it. I really got attached to the characters. When I was reading the last few pages, when they competed in a talent show and they totally slayed it, I just felt like a proud mom because they were doing it. I believe I gave this 3.8 stars or 4 stars. Originally, I was going to read Lux Origin for the Biannual Bibliothon to complete the challenge of reading a book with a cover you do not like because gross. I started Origin during the readathon. I think I got about 100 pages, but I didn't finish it. I'm finishing it a couple days after the readathon. Origin is the 4th book in the series, and I really enjoyed Obsidian and Onyx, and then Opal was such a letdown. Origin was amazing. I could not put it down. I got to learn so much more about the government. I'm not going to say more than that. I know that's vague, but if you've read this series, you know what I'm talking about. We got to learn about what the origins are. I really loved all the Katie and David moments in this. They were really cute. Quite a bit of traveling in this book, and we got to see more of this world. The last showdown in this book was so intense. It was the most intense battle that I have ever read about in these books. The last battle in this one was so intense, I can't imagine the last book in the series in general. I'm really excited to read Opposition. I gave this book, I think, 4 stars. All for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Go check out all of my videos for the Biannual Bibliothon if you didn't. Comment down below how you did during the Biannual Bibliothon. Did you do any video challenges? Did you finish the reading challenges? Did you do any of the Instagram blog challenges? Let me know how you did. Social media links are all down below. My Twitter, my Bookstagram, my Goodreads. Arrivederci!